Hello and welcome. Today it's a video about the road of success as a trader. A lot of people ask me this question if I wanted to talk about it because it's really important. A lot of people have very wrong expectations by how to become a profitable trader, how long it takes. So I'm just going to look a little bit over the charts, not talking about the charts, but just looking at it for myself. But then you have some background, so it's basically only me talking. But the most, the most thing what people are expecting is if you trade in 1 year that you actually are becoming profitable. Now, I can tell you, most of the times this is not true. Like you can see it in a couple of factors. For example, if you look at my journey, I will make like 1 year boxes. So I still draw, it's fine. I'll put the middle line out, the background is white. So this is 1 year. I started when I was 15. I became profitable when I was 18 or nearly 18, so almost 3 years. So basically, what happened to me was in the beginning you're looking for a strategy, you're learning about the market on YouTube or reading books or whatever, so you basically are a little bit orientating what you think is interesting. So I came across uh, I came across Forex and I started trading it. Now in the beginning I thought it was a good idea to immediately start with the real money. Of course, one of the dumbest ideas I ever made. In the beginning, you won't earn, or maybe with luck, because you don't look at the market that overcomplicated. So you enter a trade and you think, oh man, this is a good trade, and you win. Maybe you win again, and maybe you win again. Then you over leverage because you do not know what even leveraging is, because you're still orientating and learning. So most of the people in the first 3 months they lose money. So then basically I will I'll put it in the text like first 3 months or 3 months. That's actually a good idea. 3 months. So it's learning, learning about trading and the markets, learning about trading, uh, also learning what is forex, maybe even learning about crypto or other assets. But for most people, it starts with just those things, and then you came across like supply and demand, or support and resistance, or trend lines, and all those kind of things. So this is year one. Year one. Okay, so this is the 3 months. Then you go to the 3 to 6 month mark. So most of the times, what you see then is you find the first strategy. You're learning about the strategy. So maybe Uh, you find supply and demand. For me, the case was I found it supply and demand, but I learned a little bit about the risk management. It didn't happen, or it didn't work, the supply and demand, because there are many important things that you need to use. For example, you want to use like real liquidity, and you want to use premium zones, so the deep zones in the pullbacks. So for me, this didn't work. Then I still traded demo. Sometimes when I was profitable for 1 month, I was like, oh man, I'm going to do it again. And but now with real money, I immediately put like 5k or 4k, and it's a really big amount of money, even for me at that time. And then I lost it all in like 4 trades, because the first trade I lost, the second trade I immediately lost, the third trade I over leveraged, and the fourth or fifth trade I did go all in, lost everything, got mad, and maybe I stopped for 1 or 2 weeks, but I always came back. So emotions, emotions are still a really big problem. This will be a real big problem until like year 2 or year 3, when you found your strategy and you have back tested it and you know for sure that it will work. So emotions are a really, really big problem. Then maybe in the 6 to 1 year mark, so 6 months, 6 to 12 months, you start to realize that maybe you need to learn more about other strategies or whatever. Most people switch around every 1 to 2 months with a new strategy because they don't think it's working. But the most of the time, why it's not working, they didn't backtest it, so they do not know the ins and the outs of the strategy. So, for example, now with the London breakout strategy, I can give you guys a strategy that works, but maybe for some reason you cannot trade it the way I trade it, but for me that seems impossible because it's just so strict rule based. But maybe for some reason you can trade it. So in 1 month maybe you are like, no, it's not working, so you switch to the daily liquidity sweeps, and then after 2 months you think, it's again not working, so you switch to session sweeps or to whatever strategy you can find. And then you maybe came across a book or a YouTube video and someone is telling you, man, you need to stick to one strategy for at least 3 to 6 months. After 3 to 6 months, if it's still not working, then you switch. That's most of the time what I tell people. If it's not working after 1 month, then don't switch. It's normal. A strategy can have a losing month. For example, with the daily liquidity, I didn't had a bad month for a very, very long time, but the reason was I already traded it for 8 years. So you starting to remember some setups that you maybe had taken before, and maybe you see them on the charts and you're like, it looks like something I already traded before. So yeah, this seems very likable that it's going in your way. So you take it, and sometimes you also see trades that you won't take because you already know it's not going to happen. So the 6 to 12 month period, most of the times people keep switching strategies, keep switching strategies. Still, the emotions are a really big problem. The emotions are always the biggest problem. Then maybe in you year two, maybe you start to realize you did something wrong. So because normally people think in 1 year it's a lot of time, of course, but in trading it's not. If you look at every university study, there is no university study that just takes 1 hour. So you probably will need also a lot longer for trading. So in year two, you still think trading isn't working or the strategy that you trade isn't working. So you keep switching strategies. Oh, switching strategies. Switching strategies. Oh, strategies. That's still a big problem. Um, your emotions. Maybe you start looking into some other stuff like the AI trading. Most of the times that's also happening later, because in the beginning you think that you're like basically you're a god and you can trade whatever you want, and then maybe you get like a 3 winning streak, get funded or whatever. then you lose it all, get in the emotional roller coaster again. So that's most likely happening in year two as well. So maybe you can get an account funded. Most of the times in year two, people get an account funded, maybe get even one payout, uh, maybe even get one payout, even get one payout. Um, Lose the account because, of course, always when you're doing well in life, something doesn't go well or something doesn't go in your direction, and most of the time why you lose the account is because of the emotions. You start leveraging more because you have maybe one or two wins in a row, and then you're like, "Yep, I'm going to risk more because fuck it, all in. This is a very good trade," and then you lose the account or some other stupid things you didn't think about. You didn't look at news. You forget that it's NFP or such things. So in year three, or this is always in year two, all those things, or not always. Of course, this journey for everyone is different, but it most of the time looks something like this. And of course, you can do it quicker. You can do it. You can even do longer. Some people that I hear become profitable traders after 4 or 5 years, or even after 7 years. So it can take a lot longer. It just depends if you can train your mentality enough to accept the losses and accept that the strategy is not 100% at the time right, because you're never 100% at the time right. It's like this discussing with a woman. If you ask her, honey, am I right? You basically already know. It's like, what am I going to say? Because 50% of the time you already know you get some bullshit answer back. So treat it like a woman. Just go just basically try your strategy. If it doesn't work, you at least think that you did the right thing. And if she still didn't accept, she still didn't accept. So don't trade it like a bitch. That's basically what I say. Keep your emotions in the place that you want them. So year three or year two is basically a repeatable process of year one. Then then year three. For me, year three was basically like magic. I realized, or at least then I discovered the daily liquidity. Uh, discovered discovered daily liquidity. So then I started backtesting. Here I did backtest, but not for a very long time. So what did I do? I bought the premium version. Bought premium version. TradingView. So then I started backtesting. So what happened? I saw my strategy was working. In the beginning, when I was backtesting it on Euro USD, it had like a, what was it, like a 50 to 53 if I remembered it correct, win rate. But I backtested it for 3 years, I think, because the backtest data, I didn't have the most expensive premium, so I only could like watch back for like 2 or 3 years. So I had to accept it that I only could go far as or far back as 2 years. So I saw it working. I tested like 100. I tested like 100 trades because the daily liquidity sweep had like 50 trades a year. So I tested like 100 trades and it worked. So then I actually tried to get better at it. Eventually, I got to a point that I got like 60+% win rate with a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. So I only got better. But in year 3, I started to build a small live account. So basically, I worked in kitchens, and I worked as a how do you call it, like a security in front of the of hotels and of festivals, like everywhere. So when I was not working, I was working. That's basically what I did. And eventually I got the account up to a 25k, and every 10k I got on it, so it was 27,500. I took 2k or 2500 out and put it on in stocks or crypto or whatever, just to scale also in other things, because you need your money to make more money. So in year 3 I discovered basically the backtesting, that it's really important, so my emotions, or I could keep my emotions in peace, and that's helped for me really well. So that's why I really recommend to backtest your strategy as far back as you can. Like for example, the London breakout that I'm also trading right now, and I replaced it with my daily liquidity sweeps because I love it. It works way better. It's easier. I don't have to wait for a month or for 2 weeks before a trade happening. So, but right now the scaling process is way easier, because with the scaling process you can basically go to a prop firm, get a 10k challenge, then win the prop firm challenge, or finish the prop firm challenge, then get a bigger prop firm challenge, do the payouts on a private account, and scale like this. It's easier, it's way easier. So most of the times I hear traders talking about it takes 3 years to actually learn how to do trade, and for me it also took around 3 years. I think it was more like 2 years and like 9 months, but for now we keep it at 3 years because it's really simple. And yeah, basically all what trading is, it's backtest your strategy. So when you see it happening, you basically know 50% of the time I'm right and 50% of the time I'm wrong. But because of your risk and reward ratio, your winners are bigger than your losers, and that's basically all what trading is. Your risk to reward needs to be on point. So if you have a strategy maybe with a 30% win rate, but you can always get a 1 to 10 risk to reward ratio, to me that's very profitable. If it's profitable on prop firms, I don't know, but it works. So, and of course, those processes they can go quicker. So, for example, in our chat, in our Discord chat, I will put the link in the description as well for people that are find this video on YouTube. Um, you can basically get profitable in 1 year or in 2 years, but I did it by myself. No courses, no mentors, nothing. I all did do it by myself. And but you can basically do it. It is possible to do it in 1 year, but then from the beginning, someone has to help you. And I am not the person that's going to help a beginner and explain what key level of well, what key levels are, what support and resistance is, what supply and demand is. I'm not going to explain everything. That's not a kind of mentor I am. I just give you a strategy. I will try to help you with your emotions and go to the next step, but I don't like to actually babysit people for, oh no, this is support and resistance, you have to trade it like this, because I literally do not care how you trade. All what it is keeping your emotions intact. If you have a setup, but or like for example today, if we look at our chart, this was our, we were waiting for a breakout to the top, it didn't happen, so we didn't trade. Here, we wait for a takeover to the downside. Here, it didn't happen. Yeah, it did happen here almost, but it didn't happen. Then we waited for a new one, didn't happen. And this one, did happen. So we took this, it was a loss, and it happens. You cannot win everything. It's just part of the game. So what I highly recommend is backtesting. Even if you backtest your strategy, you will find out that it works. Just blindly trust your backtest data and just trade it. That's basically it. And when you scale, it's also not really hard. Basically, what you do, you will come at a point that you have a 100k account. So when you get a payout just by another 100k account, risk maybe 2 or 3% a trade. So or you win the challenge in 1, 2, 3 trades, or you lose it in 1 or 2, 3 trades. But when you have a prop firm account, it doesn't matter because whenever you can get consistent payouts, it doesn't matter. You just buy one account, over risk it because you already have one account until you maybe have like 5 or 6 accounts, and of course when you finish the account you're not going to over risk it, then it's not necessarily anymore. So hopefully this is helpful for some of you. I try to explain it as best as I can because it's really hard to explain. It's basically the aha moment, and the aha moment for me was the moment I realized it's really all the emotions, because most of the people really lose in trading because of their emotions. That's all that it is. So you have to get to a point or a strategy or whatever that you can turn your emotions off. And for me, it was backtesting. I backtested a strategy on multiple pairs a lots and lots of time, and I saw it working. So that's basically when I realized, oh, I just take it, and if I have a losing month, it's also fine because in the long run, you know that it's working. So have a nice day. Hopefully it's helpful, and I see you guys in the Discord chat.